Hello everyone, I'm Rebecca Keppel. Today's video is all about birthday cards. It's been a while since I made a birthday card idea video, and Simon Says Stamp has some really fun new dies that are perfect for birthdays and other celebrations. So let's take a quick look at the dies that I grabbed from Simon Says Stamp to make some fun birthday cards. First up, I grabbed the Streamer Ribbons dies. Now this set comes with two different dies, but it actually cuts out 4 different pieces of streamers, and you can see they come in 2 different sizes. I like those lines that kind of make them look like crepe paper ribbons. This die is called Bunch of Balloons, and it cuts out a bunch of balloons with several strings. The next die is actually not a technically birthday die, it's called Circle Rings Medallion. For a sentiment, I grabbed It's Your Birthday, which comes with the letters and a shadow die. I love how the letters are all together in one die cut, so you don't have to figure out how to put them together straight. This is the Scalloped Gift Tags die. You can see it comes with 2 different scallop tags and a little sentiment that says for you. And this is the Cheers die for another sentiment for celebratory cards. Now that you've seen what I'm using today, let's just jump right in and make a bunch of quick and easy birthday cards. One of my favorite ways to use die cuts and to make them special is to die cut glitter cardstock. So I die cut the letters It's Your Birthday out of plain white cardstock. I'm going to die cut the shadow out of some memory box glitter cardstock. And then I'm going to die cut all of the streamers out of glitter cardstock as well, also from memory box. So if those glitter cardstocks get stuck in these dies, you can just use your Spellbinders tool in one. There's those little holes and you can poke them out that way. I cut down some ocean cardstock from the stamp market to 4 by 5 1/4 and then matted that with tape runner on top of some Breeze cardstock from the stamp market, which is an A2 panel. And then I am going to adhere that glitter cardstock down to the bottom, the shadow of the die cut down to the bottom of the card. But when I put the little letters on top, I need to use some nice strong liquid glue so that it will stay adhered to the glitter. And I like to use Thermoweb's Ultra Bond in the pen format. I'm going to use that same liquid glue on the back of the streamers and then just hold them in place until they dry a little bit, then flip the card over and trim off the excess. Because those streamers are long enough to use on your A2 card horizontally as well as vertically, since I'm using them vertically, I do want to cut off that excess so it looks like they're hanging from edge to edge, and I do that rotating between the blue glitter cardstock and the silver glitter cardstock, just decorating the top of the card. This is a very simple card, and all of these cards will be no stamping cards, just die cutting. So I'm finding other ways to make those die cuts shine, and this first way is with that really pretty glitter cardstock, and you can still see the little lines die cut on each of those streamers as well. Another way to make die cuts shine is to use some ink blending. So I am just putting a small pencil line at the top of the balloons and the bottom of the balloons because I want to make sure that this ink blend shows up on all of the balloons, or at least shows up from the top to the bottom of the balloons. So the pink is from the bottom of the A2 piece of cardstock, and then this blend of Prize Ribbon, Chipped Sapphire, and Villainous Potion is at the very top. And that's where I'm going to cut the balloons so that they have a little bit of everything. You can see that I needed to drop the Villainous Potion down a little bit. So now I'm going to cut the same die out of black cardstock, and I'm going to use some liquid adhesive behind that die cut to adhere it down to some white cardstock in an A2 size. And then, since I die cut the ink blended balloons, I'm going to die cut inlay them into those black outlines, which is just a really fun way to include both color and die cut inlay in one card. And of course, I'm going to use some glitter cardstock again for the sentiment. This time I decided to use the Cheers sentiment. So this could be for a birthday or any other celebration because it's a little more vague. Now I'm going to add some more of those streamers because I just love them. I think they're so unique. I haven't seen anything really like them before, and I feel like they can be used over and over again. They're a simple enough but versatile enough die cut that they can really work on a lot of different cards, and it's not something where you feel like, oh, I've used this image so many times and I'm getting tired of it or anything like that. I'm going to use the ink blended background to matte this on top. So I cut it down a little bit so that I could matte it on top of the ink blended background as well, so that we can still use that up. Another way to use dies for a quick and easy birthday card is to make a shaker. So I'm going to use the bunch of balloons. I cut it out of white cardstock, and now I'm putting that die cut negative piece over a piece of white fun foam and drawing some pen lines so that I can see where to line up the die on the white fun foam. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut that white fun foam out, and then I'm going to place the cardstock piece on top of a piece of acetate. So I'm just going to use tape runner here, and this doesn't have to be perfect because it is going on top of the acetate to trap in the shaker goodies. So you don't have to go around every little opening here. You just want to make sure it stays stuck down on the acetate, and that's going to create your balloon shaker window. Once that's done, I am going to adhere the fun foam that we die cut down onto a piece of white cardstock. And when you do that, it's really important to go around all the openings. Since I'm putting the adhesive on fun foam, I am using liquid adhesive, but I am still making sure to go around all of the open spaces, because this is what's going to hold those shaker goodies inside. I have two different shaker goodies from Pretty Pink Posh, and I will link to them down below, of course, so that you can check them out. They're just really super cute. Some pink sequins and then some little crystals that I thought went really well together and kind of looked nice behind the colors that I want to use. So I'm just going to make sure they're all in there. And this time I am going to again go around all those open spaces because I want the window to adhere down all around the foam openings, and I don't want any of the shaker goodies to come out. So again, this time it's important to make sure there are no spots without adhesive around the die cut window. And then I just place that down on top of the foam opening with the sequins. Now, I want to make sure you can see exactly what this is, because just as a window, you can't tell exactly what it is. It just looks like a blob. So I die cut that piece of the ink blended card that we created, and I'm going to use that right on top of the shaker window. Now the pink kind of gets lost with the pink sequins, but I still think it's cute, and to kind of cover that up a little bit, I die cut the sentiment, not the shadow, just the letters out of black cardstock. So what I was saying about how the letters are all attached by those two lines underneath the words, that makes it really easy to adhere it down. You don't have to line up the letters, which I really like because I find that tedious. So we already did glitter cardstock. Now it's time to do some foil cardstock, and I am going to use some easy cut adhesive from Therm because I'm going to cut out this medallion die, but I'm just going to use the outline. I'm not going to use the interior pieces. So I have the holographic rainbows foil cardstock from Simon Says Stamp, and I have that medallion die. I'm going to place the holographic cardstock on the easy cut adhesive. It's a thin double-sided adhesive sheet, so I just roll back the top protective layer and then place the cardstock on the open adhesive. Then place that protective layer back so it's easy to cut the excess off there. So you can see, as long as you have the top protective layer on top, it doesn't stick to your scissors at all. So I like to do that so that I can cut it out really easily. Then I place the medallion die on top of the holographic cardstock and hold it in place with a little washi tape and run it through. And I'm going to do this twice. And I am going to have two of those little medallions and then one of the cheers sentiment as well. So I'm just kind of going in different spots on the cardstock. As you can see, it cuts out different parts of the cardstock, which means different colors. So one of these medallions, I have sort of more of the blues and greens, and then at the bottom there you can see the purple as well. So I'm going to place this on an A2 piece of white cardstock, and I'm using the grid on my surface there to kind of try and line it up, but mostly I'm eyeballing it. If it's really important to you, you can put a little measuring tick with pencil at the top. For me, I just figure I'm gonna eyeball it. I'll probably cut down the sides anyway. So everything for me is mostly eyeballing. I really don't like to measure that much. So then I have the cheers, and remember all of this has the iCraft Easy Cut behind it. So it's basically just peel and stick. I made all of these little foil stickers. So I did need to cut off some on the right hand side. It was just a little off center there. And now I cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4 so that I could mat it on some more of that ocean cardstock. And then I used some of those little pieces that were the positive pieces from the medallion just to accent that cheers card. And again, this could be for your birthday, but it could be for a congratulations card or any number of other celebratory cards. I decided to use some Spellbinders little silver enamel dots on top because I just wanted a little bit more to this card. It's very, very simple and easy. And so I'm using kind of a medium size in the center of the medallion and then smaller dots all around it. And I just think it adds a little something extra to an otherwise very simple card, but I love these colors of the foil. These tag dies are so much fun. They would be perfect for birthday presents, but they could really be for anything as well. So I am going to cut out the For You die out of some of that foil holographic cardstock that we had the easy cut behind so that I can just peel and stick it underneath at the bottom of that card. I also cut out some streamers from the same thing. So this is really nice because one streamer really can cover up most of the top of the tag here because the tag is so small. So you get one streamer running across several of the colors of the holographic cardstock, and I really was able to use up that A2 piece of holographic cardstock with a number of different die cuts. So I had the streamers, I have the For You, before I had the medallions and the cheers. So really making use of all of that rainbow goodness because I don't want to waste any of it at all. So all of these larger pieces are just being layered on top of each other so that I can make 4 streamers going up the top of the tag. Just be sure not to cover up the hole if you want to run some twine through it so that you can attach it to your present. And again, just flipping that over to cut off the excess makes it really, really easy. I did again want to add some of those silver dots. So I placed them at those points where the streamer is sort of pinched or is turning over, and I love the way that this turned out. Super, super simple and cute, but would look great on a present. For the smaller tag, I just die cut the For You out of white cardstock, and the tag itself is out of a pink cardstock, and just going to glue down the For You with some liquid glue because I didn't have it on the easy cut. So this is not a peel and stick, but again, one streamer is really enough here to kind of cover up the top of the tag. And this time I am going to like kind of cross them, which I love the way that looks when people have streamers going across each other. So I thought it would look really cute on this little tag, especially since I don't have a lot of room to do lots and lots of streamers at the top. And then again, just flip that over and trim off the excess with these little scissors. It's my favorite way to make something flush to the left hand and right hand side. And this time I decided to use the gold metallic dots from Spellbinders as well. Again, in those little points in between the scallop and then around the For You as well. I don't know about you, but birthday cards are the one thing that I always seem to need and never seem to have. So I was super happy to grab these dies to make quick and easy, but also fun and dynamic birthday cards. If you want to check out the dies that I'm featuring today, they will all be listed in the supply list in the YouTube description box below the video. If you love to see reviews of new dies and other card making products, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified every time I have a new video available. As always, I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, what am I doing again? Oh, the birthday dies. That went really fast and nothing went wrong. That means either the mic is not on, I haven't pressed record, or something else technical has gone wrong.